Hello everyone, Cloud VP here, and welcome to the first of 3 good end guides. So what I'm going to do for these is I'm going to, pretty much do the story. I'm going to show you guys the special 7th day for each of the guys and their respective endings. So I'm going to do all 3 of them so you guys can get to see which one, I could have gotten had I not, sucked up a storm. So if you've just clicked on this video for the first time and have not yet seen my playthrough, please click the annotation provided so you can see mine if you're curious about all the puzzles and the actual storyline aside from these special days. So yeah, if you want to check that out. And so without further ado, I will show you the very special parts, and for this one I'm going to show you Mr. Wolf because he was the one I wanted to go for in the first place. So we're going to show Mr. Wolf's 7th day and good end. Alright, here we go. Food is food. Sightseeing can wait. Right away, Miss Cloud. Follow me. He led me into one of the hidden passages, and after a ridiculous amount of twists and turns, we emerged in an underground parking bay. We got into a nondescript car, and he dropped me off in front of a bakery buffet restaurant, giving me instructions to phone him when I'm done. A buffet? Yes! Oh man, I want to go to a buffet. Yes! An echo. Nah, that voice was male. Oh, he's so cute. Look at his weird splattered shirt. I looked around for the source of the voice and saw a beet red guy looking around. You like buffets too? Yeah. I didn't mean to actually say it out loud though. It's kind of embarrassing. Nothing wrong with liking food, especially all-you-can-eat food. I guess you're right. So, I take it that this is your first time at this place. Unless you usually shout yes whenever you come here. You got me. It's my first time to this entire area, actually. So, you're a tourist, then? I guess so. Me too. I was thinking of going sightseeing after I eat. Ah, me too. We could go sightseeing together. You look like you could use a bit of protection from pushy storekeepers. How'd you... Oh, look, they brought up fresh grilled bacon. Come on, we've got to eat it before it gets cold. Yeah. I'm impressed. You can put away almost as much as I can. Almost? He looked at the amount of plates stacked on the table. I guess you're right. I have 2 less plates than you. You don't mind that I can eat more than you, do you? Because if you do, that's kind of messed up. No. It's just that this is the first time I met someone who could beat me at eating. Although, I did take more slices of French toast than you did. A draw, then. Seems like it. So, where should we go first? Wherever you want to? You don't have somewhere you want to go? I'm fine with anywhere. Well, there's a co-ed hot springs. I cut off when he started to sputter. Are you okay? Co-ed? No, then what do you suggest? If you don't choose something, then we'll all go to the co-ed hot... And by all, I mean just us. The waterfall. What about the waterfall? Let's take a hike to the waterfall. Sounds good. We can even carry some food and have a picnic when we get there. You guys just ate. Now that sounds like a great idea. This really was a great idea. You should speak up more often. You're not disappointed about the hot springs? Not a bit. I only said that to get you to suggest something else. That's a relief. You worry too much, you know that? I just don't like upsetting people. I guess it's not that bad a thing. It's actually kind of nice to know I'm with someone so considerate, but if you want to do something, say so. Otherwise, I'll just feel guilty like I'm forcing you into things. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Now come on. We have a picnic to set up and picnic food to eat. We both burst out laughing. Even once the laughter subsided, the mirth did not, so we both wore silly grins while setting up the picnic. Today's a really good day. Oh? Yep. Good food, good company, good weather. You're right. It is a good day. And it's only half done. Yeah. So, where do you want to go next? I chose the waterfall, so you should choose the next place. If you're sure, there's one place I want to go. There's this famous bakery on the... I wanted to go there too. Good thing we're together then. Yeah, it really is. Wow, it's busy. I guess that's what happens when a bakery is famous, or maybe that's why it's famous. Still, they could have at least have a queue instead of this first to the front nonsense. Maybe we should come back when it's less busy. Time and treats wait for no man! But... okay, maybe you should stay here. You'd probably get crushed in there. Don't talk to any strangers, and don't get in any strange vehicles. Not a kid. I began to push my way through the crowd, determined to get to the front and claim my prize of delicious sweet treats. My determination, however, proved fruitless, and I found myself barely making any progress. This isn't working. I can't push my way through, but maybe. I eyed the space between people's legs and came to a conclusion. Maybe I can crawl my way through. I dropped to my hands and my knees and started to crawl, taking care to avoid being trampled by the many feet around me. After a while, I reached the counter and leapt to my feet. Yes! I have done it! I have faced the challenge and come out on top. I have bested... What will it be, ma'am? I'll take that, and that, and that, and... I still can't believe you did that. Are the cakes and pastries divine? You know they are. See, these were totally worth it. I don't think I met anyone quite like you. I'm going to assume you mean that in a good way. I do. You make things more fun. You make things fun, too. I really enjoyed today. Me, too. I wouldn't mind doing this again, if you want to, of course. I'd like that. I just realized that we haven't traded names. Oh, I didn't even... The sound of hooting drowned out his response. We looked to see two cars come to a stop beside us. Damn, my ride's here. Mine, too. He was about to say something, but every time he opened his mouth, the cars would hoot. Honk, rather. I guess we should go. Yeah, bye. There's bound to be some company there. Now, if only I could remember how to get there on my own. I opened the door and looked around for someone who could tell me where the main hall was, and, sure enough, I found a passing servant. Could you tell me how to get to the main hall? It's... Follow me, Miss Archer. It'll be quicker. Okay, if you're sure it's not too much trouble. Mr. Vladimir's orders are that we see to the whims of our guests, within reason. Consider this one of the duties of my job. Okay, then lead the way. He led me down a few corridors, stopping only once. We reached a large, ornate door. We have arrived at the entrance of the main hall. Thanks! Think nothing of it. I pulled open a door and walked inside, only to be awed by the sheer amount of people in there. I'd almost forgotten just how many people showed up to this event. My interest was piqued by the crowd that seemed to be forming in a corner of the room. Might as well check it out. I made my way over to the crowd and pushed my way to the front. I was surprised to see a very red Mr. Wolf was the source of the interest. He's so cute! That costume is just adorable! I love to see how it reacts to its motions. So, this is what you meant by networking. Miss Archer. So you're a regular Lothario. I should have known. No, help please. A few of the girls were tugging at his costume and cooing. Honestly, I leave you alone for a few seconds and you're already flirting with other girls. But I reached out and tugged at one of the ears on his costume experimentally. Seems sturdy enough. Good. I tugged harder and started pulling him away from the girls. You can't cheat on me because everyone's hiding their identities. I had to fight a grin when I just saw how uncomfortable the other women were getting. Still, I kept up my act until I dragged a sputtering Mr. Wolf away from them. Those girls just... I know. Then what? Other than that, it got us away from them, didn't it? They think we're... Yep. They're less likely to suddenly approach you and start touching you after that scene I made. I can't really blame them for being fascinated with your costume, though. It really is cute how the ears respond to your emotions. My manager thought it would help me fit in. Well, that explains everything. Oh? He figured that if all the attendees were rich and they'd have all the really expensive costumes, he didn't give me much of a choice. It was either this or something really revealing. Well, that's one mystery solved. What? Well, I never really had you pegged for the extravagant costume type. Yeah, I like simple stuff. My manager has other tastes. You should see all the strange gear he makes me wear. Wigs, makeup, glitter, and really strange outfits. Still, it sells. I honestly can't imagine you in that. I couldn't either at first. It makes me look like a completely different person. At least it stops me from getting recognized in the street, though. Well, that's one plus, I guess. You'd probably get kidnapped by your fans if they could recognize you. I'm not completely helpless. Right. All they have to do is ask you to stay, pretend to be on the verge of tears, and you'd probably willingly go into a cage. I have more sense than that. Sense? Yes. But the balls to say no? No. Just when I was about to leave, he grabbed my hand. I can change. I just looked at the hand holding mine for a moment before I found myself speaking. I think you already are. I tried to squeeze his hand a bit, but he let go, blushing furiously. I'm sorry. One step at a time, huh? There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if those women from earlier saw us, they'd really think we were together. Oh well, I'm heading back for some food now. Catch you later. Yeah. Later. Okay, here we go. I closed my eyes and braced myself, only to have them fly open when I felt a face collide with a hard object. For a moment, I was too shocked to even realize we had stopped falling. Eric didn't seem to have the same problem, though, as he turned his head to face our savior, his butler. Impeccable timing, as always. Do be careful, Master Vladimir. Eric looked down at me questioningly. Are you okay, Miss Archer? Apart from the pain in the jaw? Yeah. I'm terribly sorry about that. The sound of people murmuring brought our attention to the fact that his arms were still loosely wrapped around me. His gaze was drawn to something behind me for a moment before he spoke in a low voice. I don't mean to alarm you, but your furry friend just ran off. I turned around just in time to see Mr. Wolf disappear around a corner. I quickly turned back to Eric. Thank you for saving me, but I really should go after him. By all means. I thanked him one last time before turning and running in the direction I'd seen Mr. Wolf go. I turned a corner and almost ran straight into a startled servant. Have you seen... A red-faced wolf? Yes, he went that way. I said a hasty thanks before continuing my mad dash in the direction indicated. I caught sight of Mr. Wolf as I rounded another corner. Hey, Mr. Wolf, wait up! He didn't listen, however, in fact. Did he just speed up? I continued to chase him through the halls, but it wasn't long before I got frustrated with this. If he won't stop on his own, then I'll just have to make him. I broke into an all-out sprint and tackled him to the ground. What are you doing? I could ask you that. Why are you running away from me? Could you get off me? Not unless you promise not to run again. I promise. Taking him at his word, I quickly got up. So what was that about? Nothing. Because nothing makes you race through the mansion like a starving man chasing after food? Why is it a food analogy? That's not the point. Why did you run from me? When I saw you and Mr. Vladimir kiss, What do you mean? We didn't kiss. Your lips met when you were falling. More like our jaws met. That guy has a remarkably hard head. Still, a sore jaw is better than a cracked skull I could have gotten if I'd actually hit the ground. Yeah, I tried to grab hold of you, but I was too slow. If Mr. Vladimir wasn't there, you could have... But he was there, and I'm fine. See? I was suddenly scooped into a bear hug. Oh, so cute. Mr. Wolf? Sorry. I'm just glad you're okay. You and me both. He let go of me and took a step back. Maybe we should take you to the on-site doctor, just to be sure, though. Wrong voice. There's an on-site doctor? Yeah, because it's a big gathering of famous people. I saw him when I went to visit Mr. Bandages yesterday. Oh, okay. Do you have any idea where the doctor would be? I don't think I even know where we are. Then we'll just walk around until we find someone. Yeah. There's usually someone nearby. It wasn't long before we found someone to lead us to the doctor's office. We entered the room only to find it empty. I wonder where the doctor is. Not here, that's for sure. Now what? We wait. Sure, it's not like I have anything better to do. You don't have to stay, though. I'm sure there's other things you'd rather be doing on your rest day. No, it's... we teammates need to look out for each other, right? Right. The sound of the door opening had both of us turning to see Eric and the doctor enter the room. Hi, Eric. I told you, I'm perfectly fine. You should... Oh, Miss Archer, it's good to see that you not only found your friend, but your way here as well. This is the girl that you fell for? Well, what kind of man would I be if I didn't put my life on the line for a pretty lady? The kind of man whose doctor doesn't have to periodically chase him down because he managed to get himself into improbable situations. Where's the fun in that? Besides, you don't need to track me down. I'm fine. I'll only be sure of that once I've properly examined you. I'm not going to be able to talk you out of this, am I? I'll see that you're finally catching on. I see. You should probably examine Miss Archer first, though. The doctor let out a sigh. Mr. Wolf, is it? You don't have to stay unless you have an injury of your own. Your friend is in safe hands. Actually... Do you have an injury or other health problem? No, but... If you're worried about Miss Archer, don't be. I'll personally make sure she experiences the best care possible. I'm not leaving. Mr. Wolf? I'm going to stay until I'm absolutely sure my teammate is fine. If you're sure. I am. The doctor just shrugged and got to work examining us. Mr. Wolf stayed with me through the entire checkup and even stayed by my bedside until I fell asleep. Is it morning already? No, I was wondering if maybe you'd want to... Maybe I'd want to what? Go for a walk in the snow with me? Yeah, sure. It sounds like fun. I was about to walk out of the room when Mr. Wolf stopped me. Maybe you should change, or at least put your mask on. Mr. Bandages would have a fit if we got disqualified because you weren't wearing your mask. At his words, my hands immediately went to my face to confirm what he said. I'd completely forgotten about the mask. Oh, crap. I completely forgot I was supposed to wear the masks whenever I see other guests. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Thanks. I quickly grabbed my mask and put it on. There, now we can go. Mr. Wolf and I walked through the corridors and out of the mansion into a comfortable silence. And the snow is really pretty. It's hard to believe this is all artificial. Yeah. Miss Archer, I wanted to tell you. I meant it before when I said that I'd be there for you. I know that I may not seem like the most reliable guy, but I promise that I'll do my best if you just give me a chance. Of course I will. I trust you and I have plenty of faith in you. You mean it? Yeah, you've been a lot more helpful than Mr. Bandages. What? Your skills are much more useful than his, so of course I'll give you a chance in the game. Oh, alright. The game. Do you want to make a snowman? Oh, I haven't done that in ages. Mira doesn't really like to get her clothes dirty. We worked together to make the snowman, giggling as we added bits and pieces to make it look better. After a while, we stood back to observe our art. There's still something missing. Oh, I know. He needs a carrot nose. You're right. Let's go get one. Are we allowed at the kitchen at night? Does it matter if no one finds out? As long as we don't get caught, they won't miss one measly carrot. I guess. Come on, live a little. Right, let's do this. We returned to the eerily quiet mansion. I guess everyone's asleep. All the better for our sneak attack. Sneak attack? Yep. Do you know how to get to the kitchen? That was the wrong voice. Yes, just follow me. We quietly made our way to the kitchen. Now to find the carrots. After looking for much longer than I'd have liked, Mr. Wolf held up a carrot. Found it. Good work. Before I could say any more, a man walked into the kitchen. Hey, what are you guys doing here? Run! Hey, what? Mr. Wolf and I ran past the man and out of the kitchen. We kept running until we were outside the mansion. Then we collapsed into the snow-covered ground giggling. That was more fun than I expected. Yeah, you still have the carrot, right? Of course. He showed me the carrot. Do you want to do the honors? Sure. I got up and dusted myself off before holding out my hand to Mr. Wolf. He tried to hand me the carrot, but I caught his wrist and pulled him up instead. Come on, we made him together, so we'll do this together. Okay. We both held onto the carrot as we pushed it into place on the snowman's face. Then we took a step back to examine our handiwork. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. We got into a nondescript car, and he dropped me off in front of the mall, giving me instructions to phone him when I'm done. I spent a while just window shopping and mentally noting the things that I or Mayor would like. After a while, I got hungry, so I located the nearest restaurant and ordered like I usually do. I was just about to dig in when a shadow fell across the table. I looked up to see the buffet lover from the other day. Oh, hey, it's you. Do you want to join me? Sure, if it's not too much of a bother. Not at all. I really enjoyed last time. Me too. I was actually hoping to run into you today as well. He took a seat stiffly, and I looked at him with curiosity. What's wrong? You look nervous. Are you hungry? Well, actually, I need to tell you something. He fell silent as a song that I recognized started to play. Oh, turn it up. I love this song. Tiger's so dreamy. And his voice, oh my god, he's Tiger. That makes sense. Anyway, sorry. I wonder just how high it can go. Or how low. He definitely sounds like he'd have a sexy growl. Yeah, and those outfits. Did you see what he wore to the last concert? That shirt was practically transparent. And those pants hugged all the right places. I watched as he got redder and redder with each passing sentence. The poor guy is way too innocent. Don't think too hard. Fangirls are always like that. Are you a fangirl? Of Tiger, I mean. No, I mean, I like his songs, but that's about it. My best friend, on the other hand, thinks he's really hot and would love to jump in his bones. But you don't need to worry about that. So, what were you saying before? Oh, right. I tilted my head wondering why his behavior was so familiar. Suddenly, it all fell into place. Mr. Wolf? He paled for a second. It is you, isn't it? Yeah, it is, Miss Archer. Why didn't you say something earlier? How do you even recognize... Oh, right, that day with the snowman. Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to tell you. What a coincidence. I mean, of all the people you could have been... I'm glad that it's you, though. I can't believe it took me so long to figure it out. Maybe Mira's right. I am a little oblivious. Well, that costume does cover everything. I'm not surprised you didn't recognize me out of it. You do look way buffer without it, actually. I guess you must work out a lot. Actually, dance was one of your talents, wasn't it? Yes. Actually, there was something I wanted to say before. There was? Yeah, my name. We didn't get to introduce ourselves to each other last time, so I thought... Are you sure? Didn't Eric say to try to keep our identities a secret? He did, but... being called Mr. Wolf, why not in that outfit, just feels really weird. Besides, we're teammates, so what's the harm in it? I guess you're right. So yeah, I'm Tyler. I should have seen that coming, anyway. And I'm Risa. Risa? Well, it's nice to officially meet you. He flashed me a bright smile that made my heartbeat quicken. Yeah, it still feels kind of weird that we've known each other for over a week, and we're only trading names now. Yeah. Still, this time I would like to do this properly. Will you give me the honor of accompanying you today? Of course! Last time was so much fun! I do have some shopping to get done first, though. Do you mind shopping with the girl? I have to warn you, it can be pretty tiring. Well, I guess I'm going to have to try and get used to it. Used to it? Yeah, so where do you want to go first? What do you think of this outfit? It's very pretty. You really think so? Yeah, you look great in it. Okay, then I'll take it. Your boyfriend is really nice. Oh, he's not my boyfriend. Oh, shocked expression. Really? Can I go for him then? Sorry, but he's mine for the day. Lucky! Seeing Tyler blush, the shop assistant giggled and blew him a kiss. Let me borrow you sometime. Ah! Click thingy. I'm only in the area on vacation. Seeing that somewhat terrified look on his face, I laughed and grabbed his hand to lead him out of the store. Okay, now we can go sightseeing. Are you sure? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to go to more shops. Really? I mean, the only shop left is... I pointed to a women's lingerie store. You're right. Let's go... braziering? I mean, sightseeing. We shouldn't linger. I mean, linger here. Lingerie. I hid a smile as I looked at his flustered face. He's too cute when flustered. No wonder the girls at the party were all over him. I agree. He's super cute. Because this was the guy I was going for. Come on. There's this place I saw on a brochure that I really want to check out. We left the mall and took a bus to the area I wanted to see. We both got out and looked at the map as the bus took off down the road. So, it says here... I stopped when I noticed a group of men circling us. Tyler immediately stood in front of me. Well, well, so the blushing brat wants to look good in front of his girl. Blushing? You've been following us. Yeah. You guys are from the Vladimir mansion, right? You got to get out of those expensive cars that they've been driving the celebs all over town. Now, unless you want to get her, I suggest you hand over all of your money. Rich guys like you don't need it. Another guy looked at me with a suggestive smirk. Perhaps he can have the girl, too. I think I like this one. Hey, Tyler, you can fight, right? Yeah, don't worry, I'll pretend. I didn't waste a moment after getting confirmation. I darted out and knocked the creep down. I turned to take out the next one and caught sight of Tyler fighting the others. I elbowed another and smashed his nose before flipping him over my shoulder. Damn! She could fight! Once the last guy was down, I looked over at Tyler. You're pretty good. Holy... Are you two okay? Aren't you from the mansion? I'm part of Mr. Vladimir's security team. You're kind of late. Actually, we're getting ready to intervene, but we saw that the two of you had it under control. We? How many of you are here? The man signaled the nearby security guards to come out. And you've been following us all day too? Yeah, I'm so lucky that I'm assigned to you. Best show ever. Some of the previous guests were absolute bores. Yeah, nice show, kid. For a while, I thought you had no guts letting a girl take care of you, but nope, turns out you can protect yourself. But damn, I'm far more impressed with the lady. I mean, didn't you see those moves? Hey, miss, if you're not already taken, I'd love to take you out. Shouldn't we do something about these guys? Take them to the police or the hospital or something? Ah, right. Clean up. No problem, just leave them to us and pretend it never happened. Yeah, go enjoy your date and leave it to us. Oh man, lucky kid. Come on, Tyler, let's go. Yeah. We hadn't gone very far when I noticed a man staring at the security guard and thugs in disgust. Idiots, you think they know better than to attack guests from the Vladimir mansion by now. It's not like they stand a chance against Mr. Vladimir's security. This happened before? Not for a while, but yes, the last guy is still pretty legendary. Oh? Yeah, some thugs tried attacking this guy in a yellow sweater, glasses, and a really dorky hat a few years back. Mr. Vladimir's butler knocked them all out before they could even react. No one even knows the butler was in the area. It's like the guy's a ghost or something. Just appears and disappears like that. So, yeah, idiots. Tyler and I just looked at each other before deciding to ignore what had just happened and enjoy ourselves. As the door opened, I was met with the now familiar sight of the crowd of beautifully dressed people milling around. I looked around for my teammates. I spotted Mr. Bandages leaning against a wall, and Mr. Wolf blushing furiously in the middle of a crowd of women. See? He can't say no. As for the Count, I couldn't see him anywhere. I walked over to Mr. Bandages. So, where's the Count? I didn't think he'd miss the ball. Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he isn't around. This place is huge. I guess you're right. The light suddenly dimmed and a spotlight illuminated a single figure. Eric. Good evening to all of my guests. I would once again like to thank you all for attending this event of mine. It would have been the same without every single one of you here. I mean, it wouldn't have been. I didn't mean same, whatever. Anyway, I'd also like to thank my staff for being so understanding and working so hard, ensuring the games ran as smoothly as they did. Now, as some of you have already figured out, this is the last annual Vladimir Spooktacular that I will be hosting. A murmur ran through the crowd. I looked up at Mr. Bandages to see his unhappy, silent expression. It's truly been an honor for me. If anyone else wishes to pick up the tradition, by all means do so. Invite me, and I'll gladly join in the games. Just don't ask me to host them. Humorous laughter ran through the crowd. I'm afraid I've gotten too old for this. Well, that's enough of that. Please, everyone, enjoy this final night. I will announce the winner of this year's games in a few hours. Happy Halloween, everyone. I left Mr. Bandages to grab a plate of food. As I filled my plate, my eyes were met Mr. Wolf's pleading ones. I quickly grabbed a second plate and filled it up before carrying both over to where Mr. Wolf stood surrounded by women. Here you go, honey. I made sure to get all of your favorites. I handed him one of the plates and had to suppress, my God, a giggling at his confused expression. I know I said that I wasn't feeling well, but my headache went away, so now I can spend the night with you just like you wanted. I'm glad. It sure was nice of all these girls to keep you company while I was unavailable, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess. Still, now that I'm here, they can get back to their own dates. Isn't that right, honey? Right. He smiled shyly at me, and I grinned as the woman that had grown increasingly uncomfortable since I walked over started to leave. That was easier than I expected. You're way too good at that. It's a handy skill to have. So, you do it often then? Oh no. But I've seen Mira pull those moves a few times. Oh, okay. We walked around trying to eat off our plates, but it was proving difficult with the crowd that was all way about. This isn't working. Should we head out to the balcony? Sure. It's bound to be easier out there. We walked over to one of the balcony doors and out into the empty balcony. Oh hey, this feels much better. There's definitely more room to move. Yeah. I plopped myself down onto one of the benches and on the side and patted the part next to me. Take a seat, honey. We can enjoy the food now. I smiled as I watched his face get redder before he joined me on the bench. I'm going to miss this. Me too. These 2 weeks went by so fast. They did. It was really great, though. I'm glad it happened, and I'm doubly glad to have met you. I feel the same way. I nearly backed out of coming, but my manager pushed me to do it, and I'm really glad he did. If I hadn't, I'd never have met you. You're really sweet, you know that? If I end up with someone, I hope they'll be as sweet as you. I'm as sweet as me. Well, yeah, I don't see how you wouldn't be. That's a weird thing to say, wasn't it? Kinda, yeah. Well, what I meant to... He was cut off by Mr. Bandages striding out into the balcony. So this is where you guys were. Come on, it's almost time for Eric to announce the winners. He led us back into the center of the ballroom, just in time for the lights to dim and the spotlight to shine on Eric. A hushed silence descended through the room as everyone waited in anticipation for the winners to be announced. It's finally time for what you've all been waiting for. My voice was extremely high for some reason. I know you've all worked hard, and soon you'll know if it paid off. But first, let's reveal the prizes. The first prize is a one-of-a-kind set of jewelry fashioned by upcoming jewelry maker of the year, Reno. Next is a Lambo Vino, for those who aren't car enthusiasts. It's a very limited edition car, capable of amazing speeds. There's also an expensive paid trip for 4 to the Maldives for 2 weeks. The tickets are transferable, so they can be given away as gifts if the winners aren't interested. And lastly, there's a magnificent framed painting of Kippy, painted by yourselves truly. The crowd groaned loudly at this. Okay, I kid. I didn't paint it. It was painted by an up-and-coming artist, though. Now remember, all 4 of these prizes go to the winning team to divide however they wish. Okay, and the winners are Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, the Count, and Miss Archer. Congratulations! Give it up for them, everyone. The crowd burst into applause, even as Mr. Wolf and I stared at each other in shock. Holy crap, we actually won. We won. Please come up to collect your trophy. Yes, there's a trophy too. Mr. Bandages, Mr. Wolf, and I made our way to the stage, and I noticed the Count do so too. Mr. Bandages fixed Eric with a glare. That car is mine. That's for you to discuss with your team. It's not a matter of mine. Oh, we did it. We did. The Count just remained silently smiling. Aren't you excited, Count? I watched his eyes widen and dart around before he nodded. The Count has a bit of a sore throat, Mr. Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, Count. I hope you feel better soon. Mr. Wolf looked at the Count for a moment longer. Is it just me, or is there something different about the Count? Oh, you know what they say. You look like a totally different person when sick. Oh, I'm not even going to say what I was thinking. I will do it when I do the Count's run through. I guess you're right. And that concludes the final night of Vladimir's games. There's still plenty of food, drinks, and music, so don't hurry off just yet. Enjoy this final night. He gave us all a final handshake before the crowd converged on him once more. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing that happen. Now, back to business. That car is mine. Divide the rest however you want, but no one else is touching that car. Oh, and Count says he wants the Kippy picture. I already knew he was going to get the Kippy picture. We all turned to him in shock. Don't look at me, he mouthed what he wanted. I just lip read. So that just leaves the trip and the jewelry. The jewelry's beautiful, but I think it'll suit you much more than me. Oh, then you can have the trip. Well, there's only one person I really want to spend it with. Well, then you could go twice. The tickets don't have an expiration date. No, I meant... What can I do to make you understand? He looked at my face in exasperation before grabbing my arm and pulling me towards him. I could hear the crowd whistle loudly as he deepened the kiss. It's about time. Looks like that kid finally grew a pair. As Mr. Wolf let go of me, he whispered, Do you understand now? I lifted my hand to my still tingling lips. You like me romantically? Yeah, I've been trying to tell you for days, but she's oblivious, and you're an idiot. Now, if you excuse me, I've got some keys to collect. Come on, Count. You can collect your Kippy painting, too. Mr. Bandages dragged the Count off the stage, and left Mr. Wolf and I standing there. Mr. Wolf stood there expectantly, but wouldn't meet my eyes. Your answer? Did he propose? Say yes! How do May and December sound to you? Wait, does that mean? Yes, my answer is yes. He scooped me up in a big hug before announcing, Yes! She said yes! The crowd burst into thunderous applause. I allowed myself to enjoy his embrace for a few moments longer before pulling away to look him in the eye. Hey, Mr. Wolf, didn't you say you'd sing us a victory song? His smile was infectious as he replied, I did, didn't I? Mr. Wolf spoke to the musicians that were playing before heading towards the mic. He seemed like a different person as he grabbed it. Okay, if I could get everyone's attention, I'd like to dedicate this song to the girl that just made me the happiest guy in the world. A familiar tune began to play, and heads swiveled in his direction. Oh gosh, that's Tiger! High Touch Tiger! That girl is marrying Tiger? Well, crap. Mira's going to be so jealous. He finished his song and smiled at me. A sudden wail drew our attention to the girls that suddenly burst into tears. He's getting married, and not to me. Similar cries broke out all over the ballroom. We should get out of here. Right behind you. We left the ballroom, and after going through a bunch of corridors, emerged at the entrance to one of Eric's gardens. Tyler. Yes, Risa? There's something I should tell you. I probably should have told you before I said yes, but I was caught up in the moment, and everyone was watching. You're not already seeing someone, are you? No, it's nothing like that. Oh, thank goodness. I can handle anything else you throw at me then. Well, you came to this event because your manager wanted you to make connections, right? Well, I don't have any. None whatsoever. I want a radio competition to come here. I'm not rich or famous. I'm just your average girl. Okay, that I can handle. To be honest, I'm kind of relieved. My family is pretty normal too, and I don't know how I'd react around your family if they were rich. So, you're not disappointed? Why would I be disappointed? Are you disappointed about finding out that I'm Tiger, and that Tiger is just a normal guy under all the flashy clothes, wigs, and makeup? Honestly? No, I didn't really care much about Tiger. But Tyler, on the other hand, I guess I've got my sweet guy after all. See? I told you I was as sweet as me. We giggled as we shared more kisses under the clear night sky. Alright guys, and that was Mr. Wolf's Good End. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I included a lot more than I actually expected to include on this because I forgot about picking the 2 separate days option. So I did that. I did the 2 free days where you could go places, and I included them all because I didn't know that you were going to see him there. So cool. That was really cool that you got to see him instead of the Ice Queen. I did leave a couple things out, however. During the carnival, the last day, you hung out with Mr. Wolf. I cut that out. I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't read it as I just kept going. So that's not in here. And there's a couple other dialogue changes throughout the story that I left out. Some of the dialogue is changed based on this path. So if you guys want to see those, I really recommend you play it. It is cute, some of the different things that happened. Like, I won't spoil it for you guys, but I really did enjoy it. I'm sorry I didn't include it, but I just don't want to make this too long for those who just wanted to see those special bits. I did include when Mr. Wolf knocked on your door and you made snowman, because I thought that was really cute, and I think there's going to be a little snidbit with the other guys that I'm going to do. And I did realize that day 7 was actually when you smash into Eric's face, you get to, like, you make that other person jealous, and that's the interaction for day 7. I thought that you actually left and did something on day 7, but that's what that was. So that's also included in this. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed seeing Mr. Wolf's End, and if he was the one you were going for, I'm glad, you know, that you got to see this, that you were able to see Mr. Wolf's route. So I'm also going to do the other 2, and if you were curious on how their stories go, you know, please watch those as well. And this is a little bit of work I'm putting into this more than usual because I have to go and edit all those extra bits and whatnot. So, but I really want to give you guys the opportunity to see these events because I know I wanted to see them too. So, anyway, now that all that is said and done, I hope you all greatly enjoyed this because I greatly enjoyed seeing all of this, and I hope to see you all at the next episode. So until then, bye everyone!